Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wendy and this is a channel. It's got a variety of things. Every 2 weeks I try to bring a video, a Flosstube video about cross-stitch items and things going on. A little bit thrown in with what's going on in my life and various things like that. I have started doing other videos that aren't cross-stitch related at all. So if you have noticed, a week ago, I made a video on making a chocolate cake with a chocolate espresso ganache that kind of drizzled over the sides. It's very yummy. You should go watch it and make it. It's very good. So I have started doing those. I'm not sure how often I will do those, if they'll always be kind of in between the Flosstube videos, or if I will just kind of do them whenever I kind of feel like they pop up. They won't always be about cooking. It's going to be a variety of things. That way you kind of got a little bit of variety, for lack of a better word, a little bit of variety of things to watch. If you don't want to watch those, then just skip over them and come to the Flosstube ones. But that is what I have put out there. I didn't mention it 2 weeks ago because I didn't really know I was going to do this. So I am doing that, and we'll see just kind of how often it goes on, and if I keep up with it. You know, as y'all know, things end up changing in your lives, and what you plan may not come to fruition. So we'll see. If you are a returning watcher, welcome back. I am so glad you're here with me. I have quite a few things to kind of go over today. Not as many outdoor things, though we'll see by the time I get this video uploaded. Who knows what I might end up adding to it. You just never know. So let's go ahead and jump on into some stitchy stuff, purchases, all that kind of good stuff. So I had worked all through May as my Stitch Mania on my Haid, which was that treasure hunt bookshelf. So I have stopped working on that, and I've gone back to my 31 days of new starts that I did in January, and now I'm continuing to work on those. Some of them I've been able to finish. Some of them I'm not going to be able to finish because I only work on them for 10 days at a time. That way I can touch all 31 of them again by the end of the year. So the one that let's see what I want to do here. I think I will show you the one that I had been working on. I don't even think I showed you this in the last video, but I did it for 10 days, so it kind of got sandwiched right in between the last video and this one. And that is this one, Patriotic Sampler by Jeanette Douglas. There she is. So I'll kind of zoom in so you can kind of see a little bit more. Obviously, it's got the saying on there. It says Star-Spangled Happiness and Banner Waves of Pride. I picked this up because it was getting close to the 4th of July, so I thought this would be a perfect one to pick up again. There is a lot of cross-stitch. All of the wording is cross-stitched. The flag, the red and white part is cross-stitched. This part's cross-stitched. This part's cross-stitched. But oh, and then the blue around these areas here at the top, the blue parts, that's cross-stitched too. The rest of it, I believe, is specialty stitches. So this right here, the red is all Smyrna crosses, or Smyrna stitches, however you want to say it. So basically, for a square block that you would normally just put an X in, you have basically twice as much work for each square, because not only you put an X, but then you put cross horizontal and vertical stitch in each part. There's a lot of them. I don't know how well you can see, but I showed this on Instagram. I was showing the progress I was making on a couple of different spots of this, and I counted up how many Smyrnas there were. 240. That's a lot. A lot. It took a while. You got the bunting here, which is like a satin stitch. You've got different things going on in here. So a lot going on. So let me show you how far I have gotten within. Now, of course, I worked on it for 1 day in January, but this is the other 10 days for this last 10 days that I had worked on it. So I got a lot done. There's more of these stitching, both the red and the blue ones, that come down a little farther. You've got this whole section that will be below that. So there's still more things going on. There's a couple things I want to make note of for you in case you pick this up. The floss that she's telling us to use, these two blues are actually two different colors, which you can kind of tell. It's not a huge different. And the reds are also two different colors. One's a cranberry, one's a poinsettia, and one is, for this, is like Ocean Tide, and Puritan Blue, I think, is the other one. So it's not huge difference in colors and shades. This is a really good example of that. So the inside, I believe, of this is one color. It's the darker blue, and then the outside points are the lighter blue. And it just doesn't show up real strong. So just be careful when when I look at the flosses next to each other, there is definitely a difference. But we all know when you pull one thread out and look at it, it's going to change the look of how much you're going to see of that color. So yes. There's a little bit of a difference. And it seemed like enough of a difference when I was looking at it, but showing it here stitched, you can definitely tell that there's just not a lot. Something else that I changed. These are all done with one thread, and all the way across actually. And they look okay because in the center, I don't know how well this will focus. In the center, you're going over everything so many times that it fills in very nicely. And this outer edge, the points seem to fill in okay as well. When I got down to here, you were supposed to use one floss. As far as I know, this is the only part that used two flosses, so you had a nice coverage. This one said to use one, and the blue's okay because it doesn't stand out so glaringly if it's not really dense coverage, but the red looked terrible with one thread. It looked, you could definitely tell it was one thread, and there's so much space in between threads, it looked terrible. So I did go back in here and use two threads. It just made it look better. Something else I changed was down here. I used, as you notice in the flag, there's kind of a tan color and then the white. I went ahead and used the tan all for the striped part because the white doesn't show up very strongly. There is actually white between these. It's not the Smyrna. It's just kind of like a satin, half, fills up half of it. It just seemed like it wasn't going to show up real strongly. It blends into the fabric a little more than I wanted. And I kind of like that because it's like the old Americana kind of look. So I went and changed that a little bit. That should have normally been red and white, but I changed it. I think those are the only changes I made in case you wanted to go and you're wondering why mine looks a little bit different. But it's getting there. It's real pretty. I can't wait to get back to it. I seem like every single time I pick up a project, I want to just keep stitching, but I know I need to stop or I'm not going to be able to get through everything. Something else I had worked on, I'm trying to think. I think I showed you this in the last video, the last Flosstube video, but I actually finished it within my 10 days. And then I had to actually FFO it afterwards. So I came back on another time. So that was my Fab Flamingo bag, and there it is stitched in this picture, though I have the yellow bag, so it's on yellow. The thing I did not do was this border because I didn't really want the border, and I just liked the way it looked without it. So let me show you the stitching part first. He's so cute. Oh my goodness, she's cute. I absolutely love this bag. I will probably use it for a variety of things. I may use it for groceries. I may use it to take to the beach or whatever. A couple of things I did do differently is in this handle, there's actually two colors. And I mentioned in the last video that this used the Light Effects DMC. You have to order it special. Most of the stores don't carry it, so you have to order it. So this is it, the really bright pink. It's just very almost fluorescent type colors. So in this handle, it is that Light Effects yellow, but then on the side next to it is another yellow DMC, but you can't see it. It's kind of that way in here amongst this stuff. It just blends into this color. It's kind of the same color. So most of this required back stitching through the Flamingo, but I didn't really think it needed it. I kind of like it without it, but I did do a couple. I did all of the bag and I did the glass because they needed a little bit more definition. Like I mentioned here, you wouldn't have been able to see this if I hadn't back stitched it. And I just felt like it defined some of the packages in that little bag a little better. It showed up this better. This lemon had some of those yellow flosses in it. And again, because I knew it was going to do this look to it, I just stuck with this brighter yellow throughout the whole thing. Other than that, I pretty much stayed with what it was supposed to be stitched. But she's so cute. So cute. So when I FFO'd it, because I want to make sure it's going to retain its niceness, on the inside, I ironed on some interfacing. So it gives a little more stability and protects those stitches in the back. But to protect it even further and plus make it look a little nicer, I lined the bag. It's perfect. So not only is it the perfect pink, because it goes well with her, but it's got swirly accents on it, and I don't know how well, there we go. Swirly accent things, which matches her feathers as well. So I am thrilled to death. So I just made a lining and sewed it to the top to match the seam stitches up here. And she's now all done. So cute, so cute. I'm very happy with her. So that is my FFO. Now I can actually use her. All right, so the thing that I moved on to after I finished the Patriotic Sampler was kind of another summery 4th of July one. And this is the Summer Delivery Plum Street Sampler. Yes, Plum Street Samplers. I can talk. I can. Really, I can. So I've started that again. I believe I have a picture that I'm going to try to insert here showing you what I did. Now, I've only worked on this for one day. So the 21st on Sunday yesterday is when I picked it up and started working on it again. So I will insert that here. And here is what I have done. I got to put something behind it or it's going to, let me see. So here is what I have done so far. Get up a little closer so you can see it. So this whole part was done before the vine part was done. I only had about half of this basket done. So I have finished the basket. I did this little loop that's just kind of like this drapery that sits on top of the sheep. And then I did all of this. So I did quite a bit for one day. And in the next video when I show you, I will have done a lot more. So it's coming along very nicely. Very nicely. I love the way the stitches sit on this. I don't know why. They tend to sit very nicely and flat and don't have weird things going on with them. So yeah, getting with that and yeah, all kinds of goodness. Okay, we're going to move on to things that I have been able to purchase. And normally I don't have a lot of purchases because I just don't go out and get a lot of patterns for one thing. I do get a few, but I try to limit it because, you know, we all have way too many patterns and more things than we're ever going to be able to stitch. So I am trying to behave myself, but every once in a while I get a little bit more. I'm going to cover some things that aren't stitching related because some of the stores are starting to open up because, you know, the virus going on, a lot more stores are opening up and you can get into them a little bit more. They pretty much missed almost all of spring for customers to come in. So whatever they had ordered ahead of time to have for spring, they are now discounting and trying to get rid of. So I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. I was getting something completely different, but I happened to just be walking by their little clearance area and I found a couple of things. So the first thing, and these things were marked down 75%. So if you haven't gotten to stores, you should try to get to some stores and see if their clearance section has some good deals. Is this cute or what? So this is, you know, it's a little rough. It's very cute, rustic type of material. Almost like a bag. I can't even think of the word right now. I can't think of it. You can probably tell what kind of material it is just from looking at. So it's pretty rough, but it does have kind of like interfacing or a different kind of backing to it. So it's a little bit nicer inside. So stinking cute. So this could be used for Easter, but it could be just general spring kind of thing. This thing was normally $6. I got it for $1.50. Very cute. And I actually got a few because then I can use them for gifts or whatever. So got that. The other thing that I ended up finding, and of course I wasn't necessarily shopping for spring or Eastery things, but I could not pass this deal up. So this was normally $20, 75% off. I got it for $5 and it's huge, people. It's very big. So cute little egg thing, like egg house looking with wheels, and then it's got the bunny painted on it, some raffia type of stuff, the tulips, the butterflies, kind of got a springiness to it, and then you've got your little sign hanging here, and it's got the same thing on the back. So you can see it from both sides. It is so cute, and I mean, it's thick. It's huge, and it was $5. $5. I mean, you just can't pass that kind of stuff up when you see it. So I didn't. Okay, some other things that I had gotten. So we're kind of getting back into stitchy stuff, but I did go to a couple of Goodwill stores that were open. I finally shopped. I've been dropping off stuff because, like everybody else, we've been cleaning out our house, and I had a bunch of stuff I needed to take to Goodwill. So I've been doing that, but I haven't really gone in yet. So now I finally did. And I found, you know, when you see something, it doesn't really register at first, and then you kind of do a double take, and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to get those. Oh, so cute. Shadow boxes. You can have them this way. You can have them this way. You can have them this way. You can do whatever you want with them. Oh, and there's a black one and a white one. I am just almost dancing in the aisles when I saw this. So this reminds me of the shadow boxes that you see in the stitching stores, that they have put all those, you know, they've got a bigger one and then a bunch of small ones. Now I know it's usually not this configuration. They might have another thing here. So this is more of a square area, but I can work with this. I can work with this. So I got these two things. Didn't know what I was going to put in them. Didn't know what I was going to use them for. Then I went to Acorns and Threads. And I found something that I might be able to make it work. I haven't done the math on it to figure out what the stitching count is and the size would be to make it fit in here. But I found this. This is Stony Creek. I love Stony Creek. I just love the colorings they use. I love the pictures a lot of times. I love it. So I was just waiting, so I happened to flip through this. Let me see if I can find. Turn this around so you can see that pattern. I found this. Oh yeah. So they may not be the exact size that I need for those shadow boxes, but I can probably piece together, depending on cutting parts of it off, like this. If I don't want the whole thing, I could just use the Believe. I could possibly put a couple of them together, change it into whatever fashion I need to, change the size of the fabric. Maybe I use a 36 count instead of a 32 count, or, you know, whatever, just to make this stuff kind of fit somehow for this. I'm very excited to give that a shot. This had a lot more cute patterns besides that. In fact, I think I was thumbing through it and I saw another one that I hadn't really noticed. And then I saw it and I'm like, oh, I think I want to do that. And it's this one. So not only does it cute little birdhouse, because I like my birdhouses outside and in, but the saying, "Then sings my soul," is one of my favorite hymns. And so when I saw this, I thought, yes, I need to do this. So this could potentially be another one I get to as well. Another purchase that I made was this cute little thing. It's a pin. It's a flamingo. We all know how much I like my flamingos. I thought when I saw this, because I usually try to make sure, like little accessories like this, sometimes they can be pretty spendy, and I want to make sure I know what I'm going to do with it before I buy one. So the You Had Me at Flamingo pattern, I did that, finished it. I haven't FFO'd it yet, but I think I'm going to put this with it. So that was my plan. That's why I got it. So that was that. And here is my last purchase. This, Pretty as a Peacock by Little House Needleworks. I saw this on somebody's Instagram. Instagram's going to be the death of all of us, I swear. We're going to be buried in all of our patterns because of everything we see on Instagram. It's going to happen. I also love peacocks. Flamingos and peacocks, I don't know. They don't really go together, but I love them. So when I'd seen the peacocks, I'm like, oh, I think I want to do that. It looks very cute. I also I haven't started it yet because I don't have all the supplies for it yet. Plus I've got enough to do anyway right now, is a peacock chatelaine. So eventually I'll get to that. I do have all the beads for it because I ordered the pack, but I'm still missing some threads and I haven't got the fabric for it yet. So yeah, peacocks and flamingos. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I don't like other animals, but for whatever reason they get me. It's probably because, you know, if you see a real flamingo, sometimes we can make very cutesy ones like my bag, but if you see a real one, they are so beautiful. There's just the soft pink and they're so pretty. And peacocks are the same way. They're very pretty. I love blues and greens, that combination, and even throwing in some browns, goldish colors. That's my thing. Those are my colors. So that's probably what draws me to the peacocks. So I've done a little bit of shopping. I also, a week ago Saturday, I decided I wanted to go to IKEA. I haven't been to IKEA for so long out here. We used to go quite a bit when we lived in Minnesota, but it's over by the airport for us. And that's a long ways for me to get to it. Plus it can be really, our roads are terrible with congestion. It's really bad. So getting over there is just not pleasant. It's not a nice thought. So I actually decided to go on a Saturday. And I know sometimes Saturdays can be like people's shopping day. And it's like, well, I'm just going to go anyway. I don't have anything else going on that day. So I drove over there. And I saw where the lines ended to go into the store, and I saw that it kind of wrapped around the building. And I figured that's probably not the end of the line. That would just be too good to be true. So of course I walk around the building, and there's the line zigzagging back and forth and back and forth. Of course, you're 6 feet apart. You know, they make sure everybody's separate because they're only letting so many people in the store at a time. So I get over there, and somebody else had asked, because there was like an attendant there kind of directing people. Somebody else had asked him, how long is this line? He says, I think it's about 45 minutes. I waited anyway. I didn't have anything else to do. I really wanted to go in just to look around. I didn't necessarily have anything specific I was going to get, but I wanted to look around and kind of get some ideas for some things. I never timed it, so I'm not sure if I waited 45 minutes in line. It was quite a bit of a wait. By the time I was done, I had been between waiting in line and shopping, because I took my time in shopping. I was there for 3 hours. I did buy stuff, but yeah, I took my time going through there. One of the things I got, we're redoing our bathroom upstairs for a variety of reasons, but I'm going to change the vanity out. And about a year ago, I had found on like Craigslist this dresser that was the perfect size to fit in this little nook in the bathroom to make it as a vanity. Perfect height, perfect width, everything. So that's been waiting for me. And I wanted to put a sink in, just one of those that sits on top, but you're going to have to mess with the drawer that's right underneath it so that the piping can fit under there. So while I was at IKEA, I was looking around, and I saw, not only did I see the sink that I want to use for it, but then when I went downstairs and I was looking in the, like the clearance, the discounted area, people have like maybe returned things. I found the exact sink. And it was 40% off. Wasn't planning to buy a sink that day, but I did. So I was very, very happy that I got that and I was able to find that. Alrighty, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to show you besides this, which is good. This just turned out to be kind of nice to be able to just talk about stitching and only stitching for the most part. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and hopefully you enjoyed this, got some enjoyment out of it and some fun, and that we will see you again the next time that I come to you. So have a good day, and I hope you have a nice summer if it's summertime for you.